Okay, so number 1 says find the equation of the axis of symmetry of the graph. To do this, to help us, we're going to go to the formula booklet. And if you notice here, it has axis of symmetry equation. So for the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c, the axis of symmetry is x equals minus b over 2a. So what we need to do is identify our A and B from our equation and just plug it into this formula. So that's just to help remind us. So for part A, A is 1, B is negative 4. And so the equation of axis of symmetry is negative 4 over 2 times 1, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. So the equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. These questions tend to be quite strict on the having x equals, so it has to be an equation, not just 2. Next question talks about expressing it in this format. As hopefully we recognize, this is completing the square format. So we're going to take our function and we're going to complete the square. So remember, we're looking at this value here, that's negative 4, and we halve that number. So in our bracket, it's going to be x minus 2 all squared. We've still got our plus 5, so we write plus 5, and then we have to subtract this value, this value here squared. So we're subtracting 4. So our final answer is x minus 2 squared plus 1. So we've written it in that format. So they've asked to find the value of h. Well, notice here that we've already got x minus h. So we've got x minus 2. So the value of h is just 2. And the other question says find the value of k. As you can see, k is the number stuck on the end here, which in our case is 1. So k is 1. First question done. Next one, let's find theta equals root 5 over 3, where theta is acute. So, as we've done recently, we recognize that if we know the sine value, we're going to draw ourselves a right angle triangle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so the opposite value here would be root 5, and the hypotenuse would be 3. Okay, so the opposite over hypotenuse value. We then work out this value here using Pythagoras' theorem. So it's the square root of 3 squared minus root 5 squared, which is 9 minus 5, which is root 4, which is 2. Obviously, we can ignore the negative value. It's just straightforward 2. So next question says find cos theta. Well, we know cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, so we've just found the adjacent side to be 2, so it's 2/3. Oh, let me write that, sorry, cos theta equals 2/3. They then asked us to find the value of cos 2 theta. Remember, we cannot do anything if it's a cos 2 theta or a sine 2 theta. We have to find use one of our identities. So again, we go back to our formula booklet, and we see an expression here. We're looking for cos 2 theta. So we actually have 3 options here that we could use. You can use any of them. Let's snip them all. Now, if you were not confident with your answer for part A, we know that they have told us the value of sine theta. So it may be that you're going to use the version that just has sine theta in it, which would be this one here. So if we know that cos 2 theta is 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, remember this means sine theta squared. So 1 minus two lots of sine theta. They told us the value of that was, steady Z, was root 5 over 3. So we're going to have root 5 over 3 squared. So that's 1 minus 2 lots of root 5 squared is just 5, 3 squared is 9. So 1 minus, and we know this is 2 over 1, so this gives us 10 over 9. And 1 whole 1 subtract 10 over 9. Well, if you want to be pedantic, you can write 9 over 9 minus 10 over 9, which gives us negative 1/9. Okay? On to question 3. So if they've given us the fourth row of Pascal's triangle, if we want the fifth row, and remember the first number is always going to be 1, and then we add these values up. So it's 5, 10, 10, 5, and 1. That should be a straightforward 2 marks. Pop up B. Hence or otherwise find the term in x cubed in the expansion of 2x plus 3 all to the power of 5. So again, let's refer to our formula booklet. I think it's actually one of the first pages. Here we go. This is our general form. So if we're considering this, remember we know the value of n is the power, so n is 5, a would be 2x, and b would be 3. So we need to establish the value of r. In this case, it would be quite straightforward because we can see there's only one term in the bracket that has an x, which means that we're wanting to find the power of x is 3. Actually, let me just put the general formula in. So we've got 5r 2x to the 5 minus r bracket 3 to the power r. So this may make it easier to notice here. So this is the only term with an x in it. We want this power here to be a power of 3, which means that the value of r needs to be 2. So going back to this, we want 5, 2, not a fraction, ignore that. 5 to 2x to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2. Right, we don't have a calculator, but we've just established the fifth row of Pascal's triangle. Remember, we start at 0, 1, 2, so our value of Pascal's triangle is 10. So this is 10. Oh, shoot. So this is 10. 2x all cubed gives us 8x cubed, and 3 squared is 9. Obviously, we now just need to multiply these numbers together. So it's 80 multiplied by 9. 9 8s are 72, so 720.